There's no denying that Reddit is one of the most popular sites on the internet. Over 330 million users flock to Reddit's pages, or subreddits, to discuss everything from sports to skincare, veganism to video games. No other subreddit is as iconic as r/relationships, however. This subreddit allows users to post about their relationship problems and get advice from other users, and has attracted fame and notoriety unlike no other subreddit. Today, we will be exploring the wonderful world of r/relationships and how it fits into Reddit itself and a larger cultural conversation about relationships. Stay tuned. Reddit is a forum-based social media site where users can browse forums based on their interests. Reddit users have a reputation of fitting into a very narrow description. Young, white, educated, liberal males are typically what come to mind when people think of Reddit users. In reality, however, the site is incredibly diverse. People from all backgrounds come together on Reddit to have conversations about the things they love or the things they need to talk about. With that being said, it has been reported that men are twice as likely to use Reddit as women are, and that older adults and residents of rural areas are underrepresented on the site. So, the stereotypical Reddit users do make up a majority of the site, but there just aren't quite as many of them as some may think. With roughly 20 posts published to the page every hour, it's safe to say that r/relationships is one of the most popular subreddits on Reddit. The subreddit has attracted a lot of press lately due to its content and atmosphere. The addictive nature of a feed full of the personal problems of strangers has been reported on extensively, as well as the surprisingly positive and helpful comment sections. Some people have not had such a nice experience on the page, however. Some users argue that r/relationships is a breeding ground for sexism, even going so far as to claim that posts published by women are being buried by those published by men. In my research, I aimed to uncover the true nature of r/relationships and figure out if there's any truth to these claims. I also wanted to get a little more information on relationships themselves, so I found a study about the nature of communication in relationships. This study found that friendships and romantic relationships can fill the same sort of role in a person's life. Friendships and romantic relationships both rely on emotions and intimacy, which means that people look for the same qualities in both types of relationships. The most desired qualities in platonic and romantic relationships, as discovered by this study, are ego support, conflict management, and comfort, 3 traits all related to communication. Since these are the highest valued traits, relationships likely falter when these traits are missing. With all this information in mind, I predicted that the highest rated posts on r/relationships would frequently involve some sort of communication issues. I studied the top 15 highest rated posts on r/relationships and the top 5 comments under each one of those posts. Here's what I found. 10 out of the 15 posts were written by women, and 5 were written by men. 9 of the original posters, or OPs as they call them on Reddit, were in their 20s, 4 OPs were in their 30s, and 2 OPs were 40 or above. The types of relationships represented in these posts are varied. 7 posts were about romantic relationships, 4 were about familial relationships, 3 were about platonic relationships, and 1 was about an uncategorized relationship. As far as the comments are concerned, 44% of the comments gave non-breakup related advice to the OPs. 28% of the comments specifically suggested the OP break up with or cut off whoever the post was about. 17% of the comments offered support to the OPs, and 10% of the comments were miscellaneous. Now, enough about the numbers, let's check out one of the posts. This is a real post from Reddit, one of the highest rated posts on r/relationships. It goes like this. My 23-year-old female boyfriend, 25-year-old male, and his family are angry because I wouldn't shave my head for his sister who has cancer. I've been with Matthew for 3 years now, and we have a perfect relationship. I know everyone says that, but it really is true. I want to spend the rest of my life with him. I only met his family a few times because they live pretty far away, and my boyfriend had a huge falling out with his father a couple years ago. They've since patched things up, but it's still not the same as it was. Matthew is not particularly close to his sister because she's 12 years younger than him, and he doesn't see her that often. Of course, he still loves and adores her, but they're not a very close family. Jessica has cancer, and as a result has lost all of her hair. Matthew is devastated, obviously, and has been going to visit her more often. I've only seen her a few times since because of work commitments. I've been down twice alone without Matthew to visit her in the hospital. She's a lovely young girl, and I'm devastated for her and their family. Jessica is home at the moment, and Matthew's mom called last Friday and asked if we could go over there. Upon arrival, Matthew's mom whipped out a pair of scissors and shavers and said that the whole family was shaving their heads for Jessica. My job is modeling. I have very thick, natural auburn hair that reaches my waist. It's one of the reasons that I'm fairly successful. It's one of the reasons I can afford to pay the bills. I couldn't model without my hair. So I respectfully and politely declined, telling them that it would be detrimental to my career. I don't have 2 jobs. I don't have a backup. This is my job. It's my moneymaker. If I couldn't model, I don't know what I would do. Matthew immediately got angry, insisting that this is more important, and while I agree that sentimentally and emotionally this is far more important, I cannot afford to lose my hair. I have to think logically about this, otherwise I won't have a roof over my head. Matthew's mom was very upset and proceeded to tell Jessica that I wouldn't shave my head because I'm vain. I apologized to Jessica and explained my reasoning, and I went home. I've barely spoken to Matthew since it happened, as he says he needs space to consider if he wants to be in this relationship. I told him that I would do anything other than shave my head. I'll do a charity run, I'll raise tons of money, whatever I can do, instead of shaving my head, but he won't listen. All he says is, how can you put your looks and vanity over my cancer-ridden sister? Did I do the wrong thing? Now here are the top 5 comments, expertly narrated by my wonderful friends who volunteered to help me with this.
What is wrong with these people? You're putting your career first. Moreover, how dare he use his kid sister's trauma as a way to guilt trip you? You sound incredibly supportive of this little girl already. Not everyone would go see her in the hospital without their significant other.
I think something that needs to be said here is that even if your job didn't depend on your hair, is that it's still your hair and it's completely understandable that you don't want to shave it for any reason. Yeah, shaving your head is a nice gesture, but there are plenty of other ways to be supportive without making a massive change to your personal appearance that will take years and years to reverse, as your hair is so long. It is not vain to be happy with the way you look and not want to change it, especially when the reason for changing it is emotional support, which can be achieved in many other ways.
A person can be supportive in more ways than just shaving their head. If they're truly angry simply because you wouldn't do this, they're in the wrong.
Let's pretend you shaved your head. Which one of them would be footing the bills for the next 2 to 3 years until you got your look back? Or the fact that you're worth less at 25 as a model, so you'll never make that money back? Or deal with you being dropped by your agency, assuming you have one, because you went and did that without their okay? This isn't vanity, this is basic survival. The fact that he even tries to frame it as vanity rather than a completely unreasonable request shows how little he values your bodily autonomy, career, and sense of self. Maybe it is time for you to figure out if you want to be with him.
Even if your hair didn't have a huge influence on your career, it's not fair to force that on anyone. It's like saying you need to gain weight in order to support someone with a thyroid problem. Shaving your head isn't going to make her cancer go away, and it will overall not affect her sense of self-esteem because she's going to see people with long hair every day anyway.
This post correlates with my analysis of all 15 posts I studied. Reddit is known as a male-dominated website, but men only wrote half as many posts as women did. This disproves the theory that women's posts are being buried by men's posts, at least as far as the top-rated posts are concerned. The types of relationships represented in these posts were much more varied than I thought they would be. Even this example post involves a romantic relationship and family dynamics all at once. Reddit users on r/relationships are just as likely to post about non-romantic relationships as they are romantic ones, which leads to a vibrant and varied collection of posts on the subreddit. Most of the posts I'd studied did involve communication issues of some sort. In fact, this example post was one of only 3 that did not directly involve communication issues. The OPs of these posts were so distressed about their situations that they reached out to strangers on the internet for help. This further proves that communication skills are crucial for relationships and that everything starts to fall apart when good communication crumbles. The top comments on these posts were all supportive and helpful. These comments show that the r/relationships community does truly intend to help the OPs with their problems. Threads like these on other social media sites can often lead to arguing and bickering, so the genuine and supportive nature of r/relationships threads speaks volumes of the types of people who frequent this page. Reddit may be a busy and chaotic social media site, but the subreddit r/relationships is a quiet corner of the internet where people can discuss their relationship problems and get advice from other Reddit users. As I found through my research of 15 posts, and as we heard from one example, r/relationships is a truly diverse internet community filled with people trying to make the world a better place, one relationship at a time. That's all from me. Thanks for listening.